My name is Victor Anoke, Vian. So Vian from Victor, VI from Victor, AN from Anoke, and then it's my middle name also, Vian. So I'm from Ebonyi State, and I'm a graduate from the University of Lagos, Nigeria. Presently, I'm an intern at Synlab Nigeria. Then on the side, I am a data person. I love data. I like data. I like to think I speak data. So that's me.
Why did you choose MedLab Sciences?
At first, I wanted to do astronomy. And I remember then my dad was like, do something you can do in Nigeria. You get. So by the time I was in SS3, everybody has filled their JAM forms, their WAEC forms. And I was thinking, what am I going to fill? And then I thought to myself, okay, what's the toughest thing a science student can do? Medicine. So I applied. I didn't get it then. Few years later, I finally got medicine. I got into school. And then the school I was in then, medicine was 12 years. And at the point, I was like, no, I can't do this. So I quit. I took JAMB again and I got into the University of Lagos. And when I was feeling different, I wanted to do medicine again, but let's say faith. My faith wasn't strong enough at that point anyway. So I just picked MLS and I was like, okay, this is good too. I always wanted to be a scientist too. So medical laboratory science, there it is. And here I am.
What comes to your mind when you heard the word biosecurity?
Initially, I'll be like, biology, security. So I'm like, biology, life sciences, security, our policemen, our vigilante people. So technically, I'll just be like, yeah, biosecurity is like the safeguarding, so to speak, of things that are alive. So that's just what comes to my mind.
So now as a professional, what do you think biosecurity is?
I think it is a way, still, yes, the safeguarding is still there, but it's now more in depth with a lot of systems around it. So there has to be like, yes, the normal security parts, there has to be quality aspects to it, and there has to be also the people aspect to it. So that's now, as a professional, that's what I view as biosecurity.
Do you think AI has anything to do with biosecurity?
Yes, I think it does, because at the end of the day, what the AI works on is data, and biosecurity also deals with data. I just mentioned quality control, and for you to be able to control something, you need to have data points that help you figure out how that thing works. So the data points, that's your data, your QCs, and then you have AI which works on all those things. So yes, I think it does.
Have you ever heard of AI enabled threats or AI enabled biological threats?
AI enabled
Enabled biology.
biological
Mhm.
threats. No, I can't say I have. No, I can't say I
If
have.
you were to give like a wild guess, what would you think AI enabled biological threat is?
Okay, a wild guess.
Yeah.
Can I describe it a little? Like,
Sure,
what's
go for
okay?
it.
So, if I think of AI-enabled biological threats, now I have to start from the normal biological threats. So, like, your normal diseases, probably like Ebola or even COVID. Now, let's say somebody's experimenting, and then you collect your data points. Like, okay, this virus behaves like this virus does like this, and then you kind of engineer it, and then you feed it into a system, and then you tell the system, I want you to target specifically somebody who has this kind of chromosomes or something like that. So at that point, it has left the human factor, is now a machine deciding based off of the information you've given it. So that's what I think as AI enabled biosecurity threats.
Have you ever heard of mirror bacteria?
I can't say I have. No.
Is that completely new to you?
Yes, it is.
There's an international treaty called the Biological Weapons Convention that governs biological weapons. Is that something you've ever encountered in your education or professional life?
Education or professional life?
Yeah.
No. Movie life, that's something else. I've heard of stuff like that from movies.
Did you have like a specific class that dealt with biosecurity like during your education?
No, I didn't.
Do you think that that's something that we need?
Yes, definitely.
What challenges do labs face in maintaining strong biosecurity standards? In your opinion, I mean, you're doing your internship now. You do have some industry experience. If you were to improve like lab practices, what would that be? What would you do better?
I think a lot of labs need to be able to implement systems that will be able to take care of these things if and when they arise. Now, a lot of laboratories, as we've seen, they are just basic level laboratories. Like, okay, you want to run your full blood count? Yeah, sure, come, we'll do it. But even in that instance, there are not a lot of systems that they have in place to ensure that you're running a sample, a test for somebody who comes in for a full blood count, but that person could also be XYZ positive. And you need to be able to have a system that checkmates that, and that's where quality comes in. So if there is quality and those systems are followed by the people who are the quality is supposed to help, then it helps in that respect.
Do you think you have a role to play in improving like biosafety, biosecurity, or generally just like education about biosecurity? Let's say in Lagos, for example,
Okay.
if you were to do something on your own, like, hey, I think that biosecurity can be better. I think that life science students can learn more about biosafety, biosecurity. What would you do as a person?
I'll start with the basic stuff, and that is trying to figure out. You just said life science students.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I'm targeting students now, not organizations.
Yes,
Right.
students.
So Lagos State, University of Lagos, Lagos State University, and then the Polytechnic, I could probably have let's say an event where I try to create awareness, telling both those life science students and other students, because it's not just, oh, it's just you, it's everybody's stuff. So where I kind of gather people and we talk about this, I tell them this is what this is. You are at risk if you do this or you don't do this. And that is where I'm going to start from.
Do you know any agency that governs AI as it relates to biosecurity in Nigeria or even globally? Or do you know any agency in Nigeria that governs biosafety and biosecurity?
This moment, no, I don't know any particular one. No,
Do you know any company working in biosafety, biosecurity?
biosafety and biosecurity. Any company?
Yeah,
No, I don't.
no, you don't.
No, I don't.
So, what's the future for you? Like, you're done with your internship. Where are you headed? Where are you going? I'll say 2 years from now. Let's leave NYC aside, like
Okay.
2 years besides NYC.
Besides NYSC, okay. I still have dreams of being a scientist. Now, not astronomy, but I still want to be somebody who looks at things and breaks it down for the common person. So you know this thing Neil deGrasse Tyson does. I don't know if you know him. Neil
No,
deGrasse Tyson. He does a show, a podcast, calls it Star Talks. So he kind of educates us about the planet. So and he kind of brings it down to a level where someone in primary school can look at it and be like, "Oh, I know what this is because I heard him talk about it." He breaks it down to that level. And that is something I want to do later. And it comes from a place of information and knowledge and people I believe I'll meet along the way. And that is something I want to do on the side, of course, but I'm very passionate about it.
so you're going to stay in MLS, but do this on the side. Because what I hear you say is science communication, like filling that
Yeah.
science communication gap.
I want to be in MLS, yes, but not on the bench.
Oh wow, you do bench work now. What's going on? Like, did they just like make you like? I'm so tired of this stuff. I don't want
uh,
anymore.
I've never really liked the bench, if I'm being honest.
Okay, that's fine.
I've never really liked
We'll
the
take your
bench.
honesty.
If I'm being honest. But now I before I thought that was all there was to it.
Mhm.
Then probably just adding what they call it in procurement, like of course the things you use. But now I've discovered that there are other aspects to it. For instance, I've been saying quality, 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 quality control, quality assurance. That is a big and vast field that is still untapped. Nigeria, Africa, and probably even worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the region of MLS or the niche of MLS I plan to specialize in: quality control, quality assurance. And this biosecurity ties into it at the end of the day. Because if the labs don't take it serious, which is where I am right now, and something from the lab leaks outside, is a problem. So that is the way I approach it.
Finally, say I'm 18 again or 17 and I want to do MLS. What's one thing you just have to tell me? Or as a matter of fact, I want to do microbiology. It seems like there's a rift between MLS and these other fields, but I'm not going to get into it in this video. But I think they're all complementary fields and we need to work together.
Yeah.
But what is one advice that you think that young person just has to hear?
I'll say don't settle for what you see people who are your senior colleagues are settling for. So MLS, when I started, like I mentioned earlier, I thought it was just bench work. I thought that was the I thought that was just it. Like you grow, you become senior scientist. From senior scientist, you become, is there any lab manager or whatever. That was what I thought it was. But there's finance, there is quality control again, like I said, there is quality management, there's what's this other one? There's procurement. And all these things are very important aspects of this particular field. And they all work in tandem with each other, hand in hand. So you can't just, because you see a senior colleague, he's here or she's here, and you're like, oh, okay, that's the limit. No. I'll use an example. Just yesterday, I met my niece and my nephew. Now, I carried both of them. And the nephew, he was like he wants to touch a plaster that was on the wall, the same wall. And I now carried my niece, and she was like, I want to touch the ceiling. And in that instant, it dawned on me, like, it is as far as you can think, that is what you can reach. Both of them had the same wall, but they had two different goals that they wanted to reach. So that's what I'm going to tell anybody who wants to come into this profession. Yes, there is a wall or there is a ceiling, whatever, but aim for something above what you can actually see at the moment. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you for sharing.